Hello, I'm David Pacino, the Drunken Woodworker. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this stool. Made from a half sheet of plywood, 4 foot by 4 foot. I designed this stool to not only be a shop stool, but I also wanted it to double as a bar stool. So that's why I chose the design that I did. You can download the SketchUp plans for the stool here. Right now, the top is a square. If I were to do this again, I would have this a little bit more rectangle. I put a handle on the top here to move around easily. It is made with pocket holes, so it's real simple. If I was going to make a bar stool set, the one thing I would change about this is I wouldn't use pocket holes. I would probably use dowels because they are pretty visible. This is made out of Baltic birch plywood. If I was going to do a bar stool, I think I would go for walnut plywood. I think that would look spectacular, especially with the exposed edges of the plywood. It's a pretty simple build. Anybody can do it. You need a jigsaw, you need a router. I made some templates out of MDF. There's a template for the front and back and a template for the left and right side. You can see the difference between the two is this has a thicker top. This is a little bit thinner. Sides here, this is thicker than this because when you put them together, this thickness will equal this thickness. I went with a template because I want to make these again in the future. I might make a bar set. I might make a set of 4 and try to sell them. Can easily be made in a weekend. As I was editing the video, I noticed I missed out on a couple of key points. I wanted to point out the legs have a 5-degree angle. That means the top of this is at 5 degrees and the bottom of this is at 5 degrees, and they are parallel to each other. Also, the legs are 26 inches high, and with the top we are at 26 inches and 3/4. The top itself is 16.5 by 16.5. So let's get started. Here we go.
From the plans, I print out the 2 templates and attach them to the MDF using spray adhesive. The templates are much bigger than your average home printer, so I had to tile them out and Frankenstein them together. I then cut out the shapes using my jigsaw. I try and cut as close to the line as I can without touching it. Later, I will sand and scrape down to the line. I'm using a joiner plane for nice straight edges along the outside. Here, I'm using a block plane to smooth out the feet. To shape the inside, I'm using a combination of card scrapers, planes, rasps, and a spindle sander. Use whatever method works best for you to shape the curves. Before applying the template to the plywood, I cut the height of all the pieces on the table saw. The height is 26 inches with 5-degree angled cuts on the top and bottom. Make sure your angled cuts are parallel to each other. I then trace out the templates on the plywood and rough cut it out using a jigsaw. Once again, cut as close to the line as you can without touching it. Using double-sided tape, I attach my template to the plywood. With a flush trim bit, I finish shaping out the sides. The bearing of the bit rides against the template, making an exact duplicate. Repeat the process for the 2 front pieces and the 2 side pieces. Then, with a 1/8 inch round over bit, I round over all the edges. Sanding before assembly is much easier. I then attach all 4 sides together with pocket screws. The pocket screws get drilled into the sides with the more narrow styles. As you can see here, I accidentally drilled holes in the wrong pieces at first. I wasn't aware of this until I tried to assemble the stool. Moron. At first, I didn't think I was going to need glue, but I could see gaps down by the feet, so I disassembled everything, added some glue, and screwed it all back together. For the seat, I squared up a 16.5 inch by 16.5 inch piece of plywood. Added a radius to the edges using the outline of one of my spindle sanding drums. and rounded the corners over with a router. To add a handle to the top, I drilled two 1 1/4 inch holes using a Forstner bit and combined the holes with a jigsaw. Once again, I round over the edges using a 1/8 inch roundover bit. Now attach the top to the base with some more pocket hole screws and we're done. I finished my stool with 3 coats of wipe-on poly.